All these Nigerian internationals that play for clubs in Europe and America, they're like masquerades, so you don't see them anyhow. So let me sit down so that I can give you the full gist. If you attended a federal university, you just know that some halls are known to be halls for runs girls. Yes. Yes, some they just know those halls in those schools as halls for runs girls. It's not that it only runs girls that live there, but majority of them will be runs girls. Now, in the university I attended, there was this hall that you had children of the extremely rich. They stayed in that hall mainly. Then this other hall, you had the masses, and one people. Then this particular hall was known for runs girls, yes. And for those people that don't know, runs girls in the universities are those girls that when these politicians are coming, or then those that time it was the time of the military, when military guys are coming to that area to do something, they organize girls in those halls for those men. In that time I was in school. They were girls that they had their names, they had a list, they had their madam. They were not official, they were not official night workers, oh, but they were students. But anytime they had big men coming into town, somehow they had madams I used to arrange that knew them that would organize. Sometimes these madams were students themselves in like they will start arranging year one students, like year four girls, year five girls. They were the ones that will now be arranging the year one and year two girls because they've been doing it for a while. So the first time in my life I saw a national team player with my eyes like this was when I was in year three. I was going into this particular hall that many runs girls used to stay. And as I was going, I just saw this Super Eagles player, very handsome guy, tall, handsome guy. He just, one lady, one of the students just came out. She was so well dressed, and they both worked out. Like he came to pick her, like on Friday night, all these men, married men, and those kind of people. But he wasn't married then, I don't think so. They will come and pick girls and take them out. So he came to pick a girl. So I was looking at them with a mixture of admiration and curiosity. But somehow there was just something about that atmosphere that was a bit funny. Now, some years later, by the time I graduated, another national team player married a particular girl in that university that I attended, and he already had a wife, but he dumped his wife that he has been with for years to just pick one university girl to marry. So if you stay with me to the end of this video, I will tell you the sad ending of these two footballers that I mentioned, the very sad ending of their life. But now, that incident kind of made me uneasy, but I didn't know the full picture of the kind of lives that footballers live. Yes, these footballers that play in other countries, some of them play for national teams in Africa. They live some kind of weird and crazy lifestyle. So at that time, I was crazy about football. If you just want me to be happy, just talk about football. I was crazy. I couldn't play football. I tried to play, but I just could not play. So I was just a very good fan of football. I could analyze soccer. So anything about football, I was always interested. So during that period, you know how it is in Nigeria. Nigeria, we used to have a lot of ASU strikes. You know how they will frustrate someone's life. 6 months, you just be at home doing nothing, and it could be so frustrating. So that period, there was ASU strike. So I had some friends from Burkina Faso that had been inviting me to come to Burkina Faso. They came to my school, my university, to study English. So I was friendly with them because I could speak a bit of French, and I was helping them, show them around, show them to places they were new and all that. In fact, I was the first person that they met when they came to my school. They came to the English department, and I became their friends, and I started, I knew them. So they really liked me. You know how these francophone people can be. If they like you, they just like you. So they invited me to come to their country. So during that ASU strike, I decided to travel. That was when I met another footballer that I now had a clearer view of the kind of weird and crazy lifestyle these footballers live. So as I got there, it was during the time they were doing this African Cup of Nations, 98, 1998. And that is when I went to Burkina Faso. Long time, right? Yes, long time. So when I got there, It was nice. I watched the games and all that. So I think they had like a games village. I can't remember now, but most of the time when they have this kind of sports championships, they have a games village. So I met a Nigerian Congolese player. Why I would describe that player as a Nigerian Congolese player is that though he was playing for Congo, I think Democratic Republic of Congo or the other Congo, I don't know, Congo Brazzaville. Sorry, I don't know which. I think it was Democratic Republic of Congo or whatever. If they are the same, or please put it in the comments, or they are different countries, put it in the comments. I'm not that good in geography. So I met this player and he had a Nigerian name, he had an Igbo name, but he was playing for that country. He was a national team player and he had a French accent, thick French accent. So you know that he never stayed in Nigeria or he hardly stayed in Nigeria. But he had a Nigerian name, so I suspected that he had Nigerian origin. Maybe during the fighting in Nigeria, 1967 to 70, the agitations we had, maybe some Igbo people relocated to that country. I don't know. I was curious, but I never got the chance to ask him. Now, that's not even the main story. So when I saw him, because I met some players, football players from other countries, that came for that championship, the African Cup of Nations. But unfortunately, that year, Nigeria did not participate. I think they banned Nigerian players. I don't know why, but they didn't really bother me. I was interested in it. I wanted to watch. So my own was as long as it's football. Even though I was a bit disappointed that Nigeria was banned, but it didn't really matter. So now I met this particular player. So we're talking, and suddenly he told me to go to his room. I didn't really, not like we're talking for long, I was just like a fan. I was meeting some of them in the games village, so I was saying hi like that. So I walked up to him, or he said hi first, I can't remember, and I said hi. And next thing he was telling me that I should go to his room. So I was looking a bit confused. I was like, go to your room, as in to do what exactly? So it seemed to be like, later I found out like it's like a common practice with these footballers. When they see girls, they just tell them to go to their rooms and stuff, and girls are so excited, as in because these footballers have money. But of course, as much as I liked football, I wasn't ready to just go and have an affair with just anybody. I used to be self-righteous then, as in I believed in I beg, you have to be in love with somebody for you to have a relationship, that kind of relationship, which is nonsense, so, really. But I don't even want to go into that now. But then I used to feel that no, I will not do Ron's level though. If I love a guy, then we can do stuff, we can go all the way. But I can't just see a guy from nowhere and he will offer me money and I'll just fool myself and all that. So anyway, of course, I refused, but I didn't know the extent to which football players lived very promiscuous lives. So years later, I graduated from the university. I was now working for a media organization, and I had the opportunity to go to Cote d'Ivoire. In fact, I stayed in Cote d'Ivoire for 3 months. I stayed with a family. So the family I was staying with, the first son knew that I liked. I came to write because I was representing my newspaper. I would send articles weekly from Cote d'Ivoire and send it there through email and all that. So he knew that I was interested. So he introduced me to a sports journalist. So the sports journalist, from time to time, if they're having anything related to that he feels that I will want to report from Cote d'Ivoire, he will tell me about it. So at this particular time, they had this World Cup qualifying match. And at that time in Cote d'Ivoire, Cote d'Ivoire, Ivorian players were the hot players. They were the best players. They played for top clubs in Europe. They were in the La Liga, they were in EPL, they were in Bundesliga, they were in what did they call Serie A. They were in all those top leagues. So during the day, I was fortunate to interview an Ivorian international that played for the EPL. It was very popular then. It was very normal. He was nice. He acted okay. I interviewed him, but I didn't know that there's another side to all these footballers. So, I'm not talking about that footballer in particular, but later in the evening, there's something I noticed that made me realize that these footballers, they could live really promiscuous lives. So in the evening, there was an after party. It was a World Cup qualifying match. So they had this after party. So they invited me. That's the sports journalist. He got a pass and invited me. So I went. So while during the bathroom break, I felt pressed. I went to use the bathroom and I got to this place and I saw a group of girls. Hey, in my life, I have not seen girls like this, splendidly dressed, looking so beautiful, looking so adorable. In fact, they were mixed, they were black, they were white. It was as if they created this girl specially. A set of beautiful women, I'm just calling them girls, but they were actually women. Most of them were like 18, 19, 20. Very beautiful women that they were so beautiful that even me as a fellow woman, I was just looking at them, staring at them, tall, extremely tall. They could all have been models, runway models, or even beauty contestants. It was as if it was a beauty championship. And later, when I asked what was going on, I realized that those girls, they were arranging them for the footballers. You see these footballers, even the ones that are married, not all, of course, you have the ones that are decent, but quite a number of them, they when they go for all these games in different countries, they arrange girls for them. So, and you know one particular player, very popular, I don't want to mention his name, but his name starts with R. He got into trouble because he met this girl. He went to a party. It was like a setup he didn't know. And she went to his room. And when you go to a man's room, what are you even expecting? So she went to his room and he tried to kiss her, I don't know what he did with her. And the next thing she was shouting, "Me too." You know that time now, women will be shouting. I'm not saying women don't get, the people don't attack women genuinely, but some women took advantage during that Me Too time to start lying against men or just claim. So she was just one of these people that was making noise that this footballer tried to do this to her. You went to a footballer's room, you got him drunk, you people were drunk or whatever. What did you expect that would happen? You go and pray, abi what? I beg me gonna ask me. Make una tell me. So anyway, she now at the end of the day had to pay a lot of money for her to keep quiet because she was making his life so bad. So one thing I want to say about people is that when you see, especially men, some men they feel that, oh, when I see a girl, I can just collect and go. It's not all the time you can collect and go. Do you know why? The second football player I'm talking about, the second national team player I talked about at the beginning of this video that I said I'll talk about at the end, he met such a girl in my former university and he married her. Even though he had a wife, he dumped his wife and he married her. And that woman, I believe, brought sorrows upon his life. Because at the end of the day, the two footballers I said I met, one that I met, I saw in the university when I was an undergraduate, and the second one, I married someone from my university. Their lives ended in a very sad way. The first one, he was in America. He eventually went to America, and the way he lost his life was very, very unfortunate. I think he just deleted himself. I don't want to use the word because I'm careful about the words I use here on YouTube. He deleted himself. He was tired of life and he deleted himself. The second one, I think, got very sick, after he left his wife, married this young girl for my university. She eventually left him and he died poor and wretched. So one thing we should learn is that no, there's no free lunch anywhere. When you are a man, you see a woman, she's so easy to give you something, maybe because she wants your money. You see, most of these girls, they go out of they want these footballers because these footballers are loaded, they want money. Some of them, they come with different atmosphere. You can't just say, oh, I'll just sleep with someone and it's okay. There are different things associated with lust that at the end of the day you will regret that why did I ever do that thing. So young people, please, whatever you are doing, especially males, they will say you want to collect free. There's no free lunch. Or anytime you engage in you sleep with a man or woman, it's both ways. You are exchanging so many things. You are exchanging atmosphere. You are exchanging energy. You are exchanging so many things. So sometimes you find out that after that encounter, your life will be in tatters. Things will start happening, unexplained things. Your life will not end up the way it was supposed to end. So please, did you people learn any lesson from this video? Please put it in the comments. In this video, I try to encourage young people to take the right decision, and I also try to encourage singles especially to be patient so that they don't make mistakes along the line in the bid to get married. So till I see you in the next video where I'll discuss about something equally informative and helpful, take care and stay calm.